What's going on, guys? I'm back. Not the same place, but the same day. Was going to go and drop off. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's a baby swing in the back. I was gonna go drop that off because someone wants to buy it, because I posted that trying to sell it. And then right when I left, they said they weren't there anymore, so they want to try me tomorrow. So now that I'm out and about anyways, I'm gonna go run to the store and try and get some synchro mesh, or I can just use some oil, because whatever, that works too. I think it's 10W40. Not really 100% sure. I gotta look it up. I've used it before. It works just fine. Nothing happened. It's still good, you know. Someone's belt was squealing really loud. So I'm gonna go to Walmart and grab that. Hopefully, they haven't had any synchro mesh in a while, so if they still don't have it, I'm just gonna try and see if they have the oil, because I'm kind of sick of waiting. But I need some, so I kind of have to get it, or have to get one or the other. Lights are really bright, and yeah, so I'll be back once I probably get home, just because I'm not really trying to record and drive, because I don't really pay that much attention to the phone, just kind of randomly talk, and I doubt anyone really wants to just sit here and hear me talk. So why? Some people. So yeah, I'll be back realistically once I get home and I'm out in my garage again. Okay, I'm back. Just got back from AutoZone, because I was just gonna go to Walmart, but didn't want to drive all the way out to Walmart, because it's kind of a far drive. I mean, not really, but it is. It's all the way across town. And I saw that my friend was at work. He works at AutoZone. So I was like, well, I'll just go there, because I'm pretty sure they have some. And they did have some, and then he kind of convinced me into getting some jack fluid, because his jack kind of, I don't really know what happened to his jack. I was using it, and then it kind of just stopped working after a while. So I was like, well, it probably ran out of jack fluid, and he convinced me into getting it. So I got that and just fixed it. It's right there. I'm going to see if it works right now. It was kind of I guess I got to put one more piece on. There's two on each side. I don't know if you guys really saw that. There we go. There's two on each side. They're just Phillips. And it just covers kind of where the jack part, I guess, itself is. God, make me feel fat. Ow. Just kind of tightening these, and don't really know how tight they have to be, but it's pretty tight. And then I'm gonna jack up the car. Hopefully it works. And I'll be able to tell pretty much right away, because before it didn't even want to pick like the car up at all. Like, as soon as it hit the car, it would either stop or it would just kind of like push the car up, but then it would just start to fall right back down. So if it doesn't work, I'm still just going to use the other one. Not a huge deal. It's just kind of, this one's easier than the other one is. So I'd prefer to use this one. better not be leaking nothing. I gotta grab the socket to take off my lug nuts, or I guess loosen them a little bit at least. Just because I don't want it to, come on, get in the air and then me not be able to, I don't know where they are, loosen them. I don't know where it is, because that gets annoying very fast, and it's just, I don't know where my socket is. Maybe it's over there. I always end up losing it, and it, like, in a sense, stresses me out, because then I don't know where it is. I don't actually know if I'm gonna end up being able to take the axle nut off. I'm gonna hope I can, at least by myself. Just because usually you need to apply the brakes, and obviously I can't apply the brakes. And that's not it. Sorry about that. Anyways, obviously I can't apply the brakes and take off that, so that's kind of where I'm at with that. And I don't know where my 19 is. Which sucks a lot, just because I need it to take off my lug nuts. Well, what the heck. Anyways, I'm going to pause it and look for it, because obviously you guys probably don't want to sit here and try and look for it with me. So, I'll be back. Alrighty guys, I'm back. I found the socket for the lug nuts, got them all loose, and then I went to start jacking the car up, and got all the way up. It is a decent ways, like me standing next to it, it's about to my waist. So it's pretty high, or it's pretty far up. I haven't gotten the axles out yet because I haven't even taken the tires off. I just was jacking up the car, and then I was trying to look for a little block thing to plug in my phone. And I thought I had one out here, but apparently I don't. Yeah, got the car jacked up. I'm gonna push the motor underneath it right now. And yeah, I'm really glad that the jack worked out as well as it did. Just because I would have had to sit here and use a bunch of, I'm really hoping that this is high enough up. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I don't know if I really want to take it off the cart yet. Anyways, I'm really glad that the jack worked, just because it would have been a lot more of a pain to try and use a bunch of things to jack the car up. But right now, I am going to get the motor kind of underneath the car and then start pulling the axles. So I'll be back once I get the motor underneath it, just because I don't really want anything to break, and I just kind of want it to go smooth. So I'm just going to make sure and take my time with it, and don't really want to sit here and try and record. And yeah, so I'll be back once that's underneath. Alrighty guys, I'm back once again. So how to do slight modifications to my jacking system. just because I don't know where I want to put these. Just because the motor was kind of getting stuck on just some of the sensors, and I just didn't really want to deal with it. Just wanted it to go under smoothly, like I said. So, oops, gotta go get that before I forget where it is. Currently taking the lug nuts off. Just, you know, obviously I don't know if you guys can see that, but just taking the 4 lug nuts off, not a big deal. Anyways, so yeah, I had to like modify that just a little bit. And I definitely do not, I was going to say don't, but then I said do not, so it was super weird. I messed up my lug nut. I don't really know how. I mean, I do, it just kind of kept slipping off. But anyways, definitely don't recommend it for someone that has never done it or cares about their car a lot more than I do. Oh, that's gross. This is bugging me. But yeah, definitely don't recommend it to anybody, really. I've just done it quite often, actually, and yeah, it's going to be a pain, of course. It's got a bunch of snow on it. Oops. Almost died. Not really. Anyways, yeah, I don't recommend it to really anyone that's never done it or doesn't really know what they're doing or cares about their car. But I'll walk over there. There's, oh, dang. I don't know if you guys can see that. Don't really want to have to pull that down. I'm going to try and find a flashlight. This is redonkulous. I know where one is, actually. Sorry. I don't really mean to drag you along everywhere I go. But that's the power of being or watching me, is you kind of get to follow me around and see what I do with my boring life. There you go. Now you can kind of see it. So there's the jack right under, right there. And then there's a tire right there. Just kind of on the car. I had to put a jack stand underneath it, so there we go. That was actually kind of efficient. Anyways, I had to put a jack stand under it so I could lower the jack down, and I didn't really want it to come all the way down, so I just put a jack stand under it and then pushed the tire onto, like, right up on the jack, and I put, like, right where the lug nuts are, like, right of the center of the wheel is right where the jack, I guess, center is. So, it's pretty safe, kind of. I mean, it's not safe just because, like, it's super, I don't know what's going on out there, but it's super wobbly, so definitely don't recommend it to anyone that kind of cares about their car a lot and or has never done it. So yeah, don't try that. Don't try it at home, I guess. Just kind of take your time if you're going to do some stupid things like that, just because I don't want anyone to get hurt for doing some of the things I do. I'm not a trained professional or nothing fancy about that. I just kind of have done it multiple times. It's going to be a pain. Anyways, I find this way kind of easier, not really easier, but kind of easier, just to, like, push it underneath and kind of lower the car on top of it. When you don't have an engine hoist, it's kind of easy. And, I mean, it's not, but it kind of is at the same time. Sorry about that little reflection that's right at that corner. It's because of the light, not because of my phone or anything, because right when I walk out of kind of that part, it goes away. It's just kind of when I have it turned like that. Right now I'm going to take the lug nut or not the lug nut, the axle nut off. And if anyone's wondering, for a Honda, at least most Hondas, it's a 1 1/4 socket, unless you know how to translate that to like metric or something. I don't. I found this socket, I don't remember when, but I found it, so I've kind of been using it ever since. And this is going to be a pain just because as soon as you go to loosen it, it kind of just, it's over there, it kind of just spins. So this might just be a pain in the butt. Oh yeah, this is gonna suck. Well, I'll show you guys how to hopefully do that. I say hopefully because I don't actually know if it's gonna work. So you need some sort of long, I guess, bar, or just, oh, that's gonna suck. Just something. I gotta take apart the jack a little bit. Just gotta loosen that bottom little thing and pull out this handle. That'll work too. I just was grabbing this one just because I have it already. I guess I had the other one first. Depending on how, oh, this is gonna suck. Gotta obviously find the brake, and I'm gonna pump it a few times just because you gotta build that pressure up. I gotta set it down. Now, and then once the pressure's built up, depending on, like I said, depending on how long, come on. Uh-oh. Is it stuck? Yeah, of course it's stuck. Like I said, depending on how long the bar is, sorry if you can't see me, I had to set the phone down in order to kind of do this. You have to pretty much set the bar onto the brake and then set the bar on the seat, I guess. I'll show you guys what I did. There we go. And yeah, then once you set it on the seat, depending on how long it is, I don't know if you guys can really see that. I'm using a jump pack as a light. So yeah, I have it wedged up against the seat, oops, and then all the way out to the brake, and then I shoved the seat as far forward as I could get it. Again, if you're alone, this kind of works sometimes. And it did. Oh, maybe not. I thought it did. Might have to pump up the brakes a little more. Sometimes this takes a few tries. Yeah, gotta pump them just a little bit more. You just kind of have to get as much. Did it fall back again? What is it on? Get as much pressure built up in the brakes as you can. Just so then it's pretty much as tight as the brakes will go. And then, like I said, you set it up against the seat. What size is that? Oh, it's a 10. Oh, I missed. And the phone fell. Oops. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm going to pause it right here just so I can try and get that done. And then, hopefully get those off. Time for, I guess, round 2 of trying to get this. Just, like I said, built up some more brake pressure and tried to scoot the seat up a little more than what I did before. So, just like that, it comes out. That was a lot of force that I just had to put in there, not gonna lie. But it wasn't, I guess, technically, it wasn't like punched down like you, sorry about that, like weird glare every time I move the light, but it wasn't technically, oops, punched down like it should have been, which I guess is my fault because I was the one who didn't stake it. You should always stake your axle nuts or else they can end up coming loose, and they come loose and they fall off. That really blows because then you kind of risk a lot of things. It's kind of a bummer that I blew out these axles, but I don't know if you guys can really, I'll try and move out of the light. Kind of, I guess not. There we go. Right where my finger is, right there. It was already staked, but that's not really where it was when it was on just now. But that was the first one. Oops. Now I'm just going to go do the second one real quick, and so I can get that off and not really have to do that. Or like not really show you because you already kind of know what it is. So I'm going to get that one off and then show you how I take them out. Well, I guess I'll show you on one how I take it out, and then obviously just go and do it on the next one. So I'll be back. I'll be right back. Alrighty, guys, I'm back again. The passenger side axle nut was a whole lot harder than the other one. I had to turn the wheel all the way to the left, and then I used the jack handle, the jack handle to hold it in place, because every time I tried to loosen it, it would turn like to the right, and every time I turned to the right, I kind of got stuck up on the car. So that was a lot harder. But I'm gonna show you kind of what ones I take out, because the ball joints. Oh, there we go. Ball joints. Oh, hold on, right there. Well, not really that one specifically, but like that one, or there's one underneath right there. A lot of people have like the little, I don't know if it's really I don't know really what it is. It's like a pickle fork. I think that's what it's called. But it's got like two little edges and it goes in between, and you have to when you hammer it in there, it kind of just pops itself out. I don't have one of those. So I just take these two out, which are for the strut. There's those two. Take off. And then this one and this one right here are for the upper control arm. So that way, oops, kind of fat. But that way, hold on, trying to get the best view. That way this is the upper control arm. This pops out, and then this, you can kind of maneuver around or whatever. Usually I take out, where is it? There's a bolt, like right, I don't know if you guys can really see it, but it's right here, right there. Pretty much where my finger was. That's where that one is. Usually I take that out, just then it drops. I might take that out. I'm not really 100% sure. Because if I take that out, I can pop the axles in and out, no problem. Just because the axles get stuck. I don't know where my hand is. Oh, get stuck right along on, I don't know if you guys can see that, but right here, I think it's called the A-arm. Not really 100% sure with all these technical, I guess, terms with at least suspension, or I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. But usually that would just pop out. I'm gonna try that first just because it's easier, and then yeah, go from there. So I'm gonna find my tools and then try and get them loose. I don't know if I'm gonna need two hands, that's why I'm gonna kind of pause the video. I don't actually know how long this one is. It's probably a lot longer than the first one I made, but I'm gonna do that, and then I might just call it for the night, just because it's kind of late and my phone's gonna die. So I might just call it for the night and then try and get it all done tomorrow. Alright, I'm back. I did kind of say do this one, like do these, because it's easier, but it's kind of easier. I don't really know how to explain it, but right where the, hold on, right here is right where the bolt is, and it can't, well, it's not loose or nothing, but I thought it was going to be, oops, hard to take off because I didn't remember if I took it off or not. But, so, if all you're doing is pulling the axle out, you can usually just do that. Depending on, I guess, usually I take like all that stuff off when the axle is still in the tranny and stuff, but because it's not in the tranny, I can just kind of pull it straight out instead of having to pull it out of the tranny and do it that way, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, usually I'd take like this part that I'm taking off now off first, and then you take off the bottom, you take off the bottom ones second, which I will show you, because obviously you gotta take those out in order for it to drop. The top bolt is a 14, the bottom one's a 17. Well, usually it's a nut and a bolt. Sorry. Just trying to get this all the way out. Sorry about that, kind of got interrupted. Not really interrupted, but someone called, so I had to answer it. But, where did I put it? Got the bottom bolt out. That's the, oops. That's the bottom bolt. And then the top bolt is, I guess it's probably better to see it on that side. Right. Hold on, right there. Right where my pinky is. It kind of just goes through that and clamps the middle, so it, or clamps it so it kind of just suctions to the strut, I guess, technically. But, so got that out, and I gotta bring this around now because my phone is connected to it. And this light doesn't seem to want to stay on sometimes. I don't know why. I'm gonna try and... Anyways, whatever, I guess. Some odd reason it just is not working right now. There we go. So, there's the axle. Depending on how tight in there it is, you can kind of just usually tap it out with like a hammer or like the end of a ratchet. You just gotta pretty much just, hold on. Let's see what I have. Oh, I have the ratchet right there. Anyways, you just gotta kind of line it up. Just line it up in the middle, and then just kind of push it out. And if it's not inside of the tranny, usually it should just kind of, ooh, scary. Usually it should just kind of pop out. But mine are cold, so they kind of are being a pain. Where's my crowbar? My phone's kind of got to stay next to the jump pack just because, like I said, it almost died, so I had to plug it in. So, can't take it very far. There it goes. But, yeah, you just kind of push it out and or hammer it out, whatever. And usually it'll just kind of pop out. And then, yeah. Maybe sometime I'll have to replace my axle when the motor's actually in the car. And, well, I'll show you once I actually get the motor in, because I'm going to get the motor in before I put the other axles in anyways. So, that'll probably be in either, I don't know, one of these videos sometime soon. But, I'm going to kind of finish this kind of off camera just because I don't really want to sit here and kind of hold it. I mean, I'm doing the exact same thing on the other side, and then I'm just kind of calling it for the night because I don't want to kind of drag this video on. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of like the way I did this one compared to like the other ones. I tried to show you guys more on what I was actually doing. It's just kind of hard to do it with only me. I'm hoping once I get my actual camera, I can like set it up somewhere, that way it just stays in one spot instead of having to kind of drag my phone around or have to hold it. But anyways, that's going to be it, guys. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see some more. Gonna have some fun stuff once it gets warm out. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys.